Right now, as you're watching this video, 589 million people around the world are living with diabetes. But here's something that will shock you. Just 100 years ago, every single one of them would be dead. Before 1922, diabetes wasn't just a disease, it was a guaranteed death sentence. Children diagnosed with diabetes had days, maybe weeks, to live. Parents could only watch helplessly as their kids wasted away. But then, one incredible discovery changed everything forever. Today, that same discovery saves over 400 million lives every single day. This is the story of insulin, the hormone that transformed the deadliest disease into a manageable condition overnight. And the way it was discovered will blow your mind. Imagine walking into a doctor's office in 1921 with your 10-year-old child. The doctor runs some tests and then looks you in the eye with devastating news: your child has diabetes. In that moment, you'd know you were taking your kid home to die. There was no hope. No treatment. No miracle cure coming. Diabetes was nature's cruelest disease. These children would waste away before your eyes, their bodies literally starving to death even as they ate. Their skin would hang loose on shrinking frames. They'd drink water constantly but never feel satisfied. The lucky ones died within weeks. The unlucky ones suffered for months. Doctors could offer nothing but starvation diets that maybe, bought a few extra weeks of life. Parents would spend their life savings traveling from specialist to specialist, only to hear the same hopeless verdict everywhere. By 1921, diabetes had killed more children than any war. Families were being destroyed, and medical science was powerless to stop it. But then, in a small laboratory in Toronto, everything changed. 4 men were about to make medical history. Frederick Banting, a young surgeon with a wild idea. Charles Best, a 22-year-old medical student. James Collop, a brilliant biochemist. And John MacLeod, the experienced professor who gave them a chance. What they were attempting had never been done before. They believed that somewhere in the pancreas was a mysterious substance that could save diabetic lives. Everyone thought they were crazy. Previous attempts had failed miserably. But these 4 refused to give up. Their first breakthrough came with a dog named Marjorie. She was severely diabetic and dying. Then they injected her with their crude, murky extract from cow pancreases. Something incredible happened. Marjorie's blood sugar dropped. She gained weight. She became playful again. For 70 days, this dying dog lived a normal, healthy life, something impossible without their discovery. The room fell silent as they realized what they'd done. They had found it. They had found insulin. January 11, 1922, the day that changed medicine forever. A 14-year-old boy named Leonard Thompson was hours from death. His desperate parents agreed to try the experimental treatment. The first injection barely worked. But the second injection, Leonard's blood sugar plummeted. Color returned to his face. He started eating again. The boy who was supposed to die that week lived for 13 more years. So what exactly is this miracle hormone that saves lives every day? Think of insulin as the key to your body's cells. Every time you eat, sugar floods your bloodstream. But here's the problem: that sugar can't get into your cells without insulin. It's like having a house full of food, but all the doors are locked. Insulin is the master key that unlocks those doors. Your pancreas makes insulin in tiny clusters of cells called islets. These cells are like little factories, constantly monitoring your blood sugar and releasing exactly the right amount of insulin at exactly the right time. It's an incredibly sophisticated system that works perfectly, until it doesn't. In type 1 diabetes, your immune system goes rogue and destroys these insulin-making cells. It's like bombing your own factories. No insulin production means sugar builds up in your blood while your cells literally starve. In type 2 diabetes, your body either doesn't make enough insulin, or your cells become resistant to it. The keys don't work properly anymore. Without insulin, your blood becomes thick with sugar. Your kidneys try desperately to flush it out, making you urinate constantly and feel incredibly thirsty. Meanwhile, your cells are screaming for energy they can't access. Your body starts breaking down muscle and fat for fuel. You waste away even while eating. This is why diabetes was so deadly. The body was essentially eating itself alive. When insulin became available, the transformation was nothing short of miraculous. Children who were days from death suddenly had decades of life ahead of them. Families that had been planning funerals started planning futures instead. The first insulin patients became living proof of medical magic. Elizabeth Hughes, daughter of a U.S. Supreme Court justice, was dying at age 11. She weighed just 45 pounds when she received her first insulin injection. Within months, she was a healthy, active teenager. She went on to marry, have children, and live to age 73. Leonard Thompson, that first patient in 1922, became a symbol of hope worldwide. Photos of his remarkable recovery spread across newspapers globally. Suddenly, diabetes wasn't a death sentence anymore. But the impact goes far beyond individual stories. Today, insulin saves over 400 million lives worldwide. That's more than the entire population of the United States. Every single day, millions of people inject insulin and go on living normal, productive lives. They go to school, build careers, fall in love, and raise families. None of this would be possible without those 4 men in Toronto over 100 years ago. We're talking about parents who get to watch their diabetic children graduate college. Grandparents with diabetes who get to see their grandkids grow up. Athletes with diabetes competing in the Olympics. The ripple effect is immeasurable. Insulin didn't just save individual lives, it saved entire family trees from being cut short. The insulin revolution didn't stop in 1922. What started as crude extracts from animal pancreases has evolved into precision medicine. In the 1980s, scientists figured out how to make human insulin in laboratories using bacteria. No more depending on animal sources. No more shortages. This breakthrough made insulin safer and more consistent than ever before. But then came the real game changers. Rapid-acting insulin starts working in 15 minutes, perfect for meals. Long-acting insulin provides steady coverage for 24 hours. There's even ultra-rapid insulin that works in just 4 minutes. Today's diabetics have options that the first insulin patients could never have imagined. Insulin pumps changed everything again. Instead of multiple daily injections, a tiny device delivers insulin continuously, just like a healthy pancreas would. Some pumps are no bigger than a pager. Others are completely tubeless patches. The most advanced systems can actually talk to continuous glucose monitors. When your blood sugar rises, the pump automatically delivers more insulin. When it drops, the pump backs off. It's like having an artificial pancreas. We're witnessing the dawn of smart insulin technology. Scientists are developing insulin that only activates when blood sugar is high. Imagine insulin so intelligent it knows exactly when and how much to work, without any input from you. Glucose-responsive insulin could eliminate both high and low blood sugar episodes forever. Some researchers are even working on insulin pills that could replace injections entirely. The future of diabetes management gets brighter every year. But here's the tragic reality. Even with all these medical advances, 445 million adults worldwide still don't have access to the insulin they desperately need. In 2024, people are still dying from a condition that became treatable over 100 years ago. The problem isn't medical, it's economic and logistical. In some countries, a month's supply of insulin costs more than an entire year's salary. Families are forced to choose between insulin and food. Parents ration their children's insulin, hoping to make it last longer. Some people die because they can't afford their next vial. This wasn't supposed to happen. When Banting, Best, and Collip discovered insulin, they refused to profit from the discovery. They sold the patent to the University of Toronto for just $1. Their reasoning was simple: insulin was too important for human survival to be owned by anyone. Insulin belongs to the world, Banting declared. Yet somehow, we've created a system where this life-saving hormone is out of reach for millions who need it. It's a betrayal of the original vision. The discoverers wanted insulin to save every diabetic life. Instead, we've created artificial scarcity in the midst of medical abundance. Countries like Denmark and Germany provide free insulin to all diabetics. But in other parts of the world, including wealthy nations, people are dying from rationing insulin they can't afford. This is not just a medical tragedy, it's a moral crisis that demands urgent action. Despite these challenges, the future of insulin holds incredible promise. Scientists are working on glucose-responsive insulin that only works when blood sugar is elevated. This smart insulin could prevent dangerous low blood sugar reactions while maintaining perfect glucose control. Gene therapy research is exploring ways to regenerate the insulin-producing cells that diabetes destroys. Imagine if we could restore your body's natural insulin production instead of replacing it artificially. Some experimental treatments have already shown success in early trials. The artificial pancreas technology keeps getting smaller and smarter. Researchers are developing systems that can predict blood sugar changes before they happen. These predictive algorithms could prevent diabetic emergencies entirely. Stem cell research offers another pathway to a cure. Scientists have successfully created insulin-producing cells from stem cells in laboratory conditions. Clinical trials are testing whether these lab-grown cells can be safely transplanted into diabetic patients. Nanotechnology is opening doors to entirely new delivery methods. Microscopic insulin pumps that could be implanted under the skin. Smart contact lenses that monitor glucose levels and deliver medication directly through the eye. The next 20 years could bring changes as revolutionary as insulin's original discovery. We might see the end of daily injections, continuous glucose monitoring, and dietary restrictions. The ultimate goal remains the same as it was in 1922, giving diabetics the same life expectancy and quality of life as everyone else. Every day, insulin quietly performs one of medicine's greatest miracles. Over 400 million people wake up each morning because of a discovery made by 4 determined researchers in Toronto over a century ago. They transformed diabetes from a death sentence into a manageable condition virtually overnight. This hormone doesn't just save individual lives, it preserves families, communities, and human potential on a massive scale. The children who would have died in 1921 now grow up to become doctors, teachers, artists, and innovators. That's the true power of medical breakthroughs. If this story amazed you, hit that subscribe button for more incredible medical discoveries that change the world. Share this video with someone who needs to understand the miracle of modern medicine. And remember, every time you see someone checking their blood sugar or taking an insulin injection, you're witnessing the legacy of one of humanity's greatest scientific achievements. The next time you take modern medicine for granted, think about insulin. Think about those 4 researchers who refused to give up when everyone else said it was impossible. And think about the 400 million people who are alive today because sometimes, science really can work miracles. Their story reminds us that the most important medical breakthroughs often come from the most unexpected places. Who knows? The next life-saving discovery might be happening in a laboratory right now.